think they do, but I mean, so Fort Dix is probably it's like one of the biggest federal prisons in the country, but it's also one of the biggest ones for like corruption and contraband.
Now, Fort Dix, let's get the audience straight. Fort Dix is a camp and low facility with approximately 7,500 prisoners, 5,000 in the lows.
Yeah, and then I think another 500 or so in the camp.
Okay, so you're talking about 4,000 inmates, give or take.
Like 6,000, I would say.
Wow,
yeah,
6,000 inmates.
Yeah.
And they're all in Fort Dix. And Fort Dix is in New Jersey. It's an Army base.
It's an old Army barracks. There's 2 sides to the compound. You're housed in old barracks. It's 12-man rooms, 6 bunk beds, big table. There's no locks on the doors. Just the unit itself is locked, and the unit's 3 floors. The bottom floor, you have a pool hall. You have a little microwave room. You got a TV room. And then the second and third floor, there's 2 bathrooms on each floor, showers. It's old brick. Like, it's disgusting, the bathrooms are.
What Diddy faces in Fort Dix Federal Prison. It's in New Jersey. A look inside the facility. As you've seen on the intro, we actually got an inmate who was actually housed in Fort Dix and what he was feeling about his experience a little bit being in the facility. We know that it was an old Army barracks. So we're going to go into a breakdown. What is Diddy's facing? We know that he requested this. Is he going to get it? This pause. That was crazy. But is he going to get the facility that he's requesting? We already know that Tenny Garagos and his people have already put in this right here. And they see it's already issued to the judge. And it says, on behalf of Mr. Combs, we respectfully request that the court strongly recommend a designation facility to the Bureau of Prisons in Mr. Combs' judgment in order to address the drug abuse issues and to maximize family visitation and rehabilitation efforts. Plus, it's close. He's from New York. It's in Jersey, so we could get what that's going on, right? We request that the court strongly recommend the Bureau of Prisons that Mr. Combs be placed at FCI Fort Dix for RDAP, which is those drug treatments and all of those things, purposes, and any other available educational and occupational programs. Thank you for your considerations. Respectfully, and you see Tenny Garagos on the actual signatures now. Is Diddy going to get that? I don't know. We know what Diddy does have. He got his 50-month sentence. Some people are saying, nah, man, he'd be home in 11. You know what I'm saying? He can be. Plus, they supposedly going to put and push for appeals. Who knows how that goes for them? But, you know, with good behavior, with this being his first-time offense, maybe that chips off some of these months anyway. So maybe he's not looking at the whole bulk of this, or maybe he is. Who knows? But if you think he's going to do the max of it, his whole term, if you think he's going to do the less, just get in the comments and let me know what y'all thinking. We're all still speculating, you know what I mean? But shout out to everybody on Go. Make sure you're all dropping likes. Make sure you are hitting the notification bells and make sure you're notified when we're dropping new content. So look, I do want to go into some breakdowns. So we're going to look at the location. I want to see if we could look at the facility. We want to see if we could see around the grounds and the streets and see what's looking like over there. So we're also going to go into some Google Earth as well. So see if we can see the facility as well from other views. So let's just see if Diddy does get this, what this looks like for him.
Yeah. The Federal Correctional Institution, Fort Dix, is a low-security federal prison in New Jersey, housing male inmates. Managed by the Federal Bureau of Prisons, it also has a minimum security satellite camp. Located in Burlington County, about 40 miles from Philadelphia, the prison is part of the Joint Base McGuire-Dix-Lakehurst complex. As the largest federal prison in the U.S. by inmate population, Fort Dix is divided into 3 sections, east and west compounds, both functioning as separate low-security prisons, and a camp situated between them. In 2010, an FBI investigation uncovered that inmate Demorio McDowell was running a significant identity theft ring from within FCI Fort Dix. He and his co-conspirators targeted credit cards from major retailers like Macy's and Home Depot, racking up over $500,000 in fraudulent purchases. McDowell was sentenced to an additional 14 years in prison in 2011.
As you can see there, it was going through a little breakdown, but we are going to go into our own Google Earth thing. But I did want to bring up some footage like of the ground so that we could kind of see it from a street view besides Google Earth, which we're going to also do that. So, but the footage that we've been finding, it's really like an old place, but it's really from at the times when it was this army base and these barracks. So I'm going to go to at least a couple of those, and then we could probably bring up on Google Earth to see and make sure that the street that they're naming is actually on the Google Earth, and we can figure it all out for ourselves. So let's get to that and see if we can do that real quick.
Now we're still heading down Texas. Now, if Brian, if you could kind of veer to your left a little bit and show those buildings. Susie, the second one on the left down there is where Lester stays. Like I said, he's at a meeting right now. I'll drive down that way so we can get a shot of his building area, and it is on Nashville. Now we're going in the sun. Hopefully this doesn't mess up the quality of the film. And we're pulling right in here. And this building on our left is where the officer stayed. And Lester stayed up on the third floor. So,
okay, as you just could see right there, right? We seen some from a street view. We seen him driving down like Texas Avenue and Nashville Avenue and all that. So I just wanted to go to Google Earth so that we could just get like a street view as well, and we could kind of see, as we could see here, this is like the way it was all spread out. I could imagine back in those days, but you can see we have Texas Ave here. You can see that, right? We have Texas Ave from a street level, and we have Tennessee Ave as well, right? As you can see, Texas, like I said, he named Nashville. We can see how they kind of named it out here. See Tennessee, Delaware Ave is over there as well. You see Delaware Ave, Pennsylvania Avenue, right? So you can see this like a main street, Texas Avenue, because you see some of these streets are going the opposite direction, or they're going into like cul-de-sacs and like little like roundabouts. They even have one street actually called like a roundabout. But as we could zoom out, we'll see the distance from where it's at, right? But you can see this whole grounds and how it was kind of like constructed. You see the Army and the Air Force around here. See it right there, the Army and the Air Force over here, boom. But you can kind of see Fort Dix, right? You see the facility, right? When you zoom out, you can see FCI Fort Dix, which is over here, right? So we could go to the street view of Fort Dix, right? Boom. And this is Fort Dix. Just give us a street view of it real quick. Let's spin it. I mean, we can get our own street view. My bad, y'all. This thing acting up. My bad. 360, homie. What happened to y'all? 360s. Hold up. Let's go down the way. Let's go down the way. Go down the way. You can see it kind of from like a street view, right? Well, let me dismiss this. Let me back up out of here. And let me get it from here again. All right, cool. Let me get the 3D on Fort Dix, though. I don't want that. I want the 3D on it, though. That's what I'm saying. Hartford Street. Gloucester Street. See, this is the facility, as you can see it. Look. It's a big facility, though. Right? So then I also want to see